Hi y'all, good morning. If you come and fish with me today, you best grab you a tub of worms, because that's what we're going to be using. We're doing some good old-fashioned worm fishing today. The original fishing lure that catches literally everything that swims. I expect us to catch some bass today, maybe some largemouth, maybe some smallmouth too. Tons of bluegill, I'm sure, maybe some shellcracker. There could be some other catches, drum, white bass, yellow bass. You just never know. You throw a worm out there, if you get in front of a fish, they're going to eat it. So let me take a camera here. I'm going to show you our setup, and we're going to get right to it. I done got my worm and jig here all wrapped around. There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. We're off to a heck of a start here, folks. That right there, though, is our lure, folks. That is a live red worm, and you'll see I got it on a jig head. That's a small jig head, 1/64 ounce in size with a number 8 hook. Now, you can use just a plain hook with a piece of split shot up your line to give it a little extra casting distance, but personally, I like to just keep things real simple and throw it on a jig head. And you see how it's moving around right there? This water today, we're in this creek here, and we've had some rain recently, so the water's got a lot of color to it. It's kind of muddy. And that movement on the worm there, in addition to the scent it's putting off, it's going to help them fish find it. And like I said, we get it in front of them, they're going to gobble it up. And we're going to be using my ultralight rod. So when we catch them, it's going to be a dang good time. All fish pull hard when you use an ultralight tackle. And this rod here, if you're new to my channel, this is a St. Croix Panfish Series rod. It's 6 foot long, of course, ultralight action. We got 2-pound test line. That's Trout Magnet SOS line. I've got a 1,000 size Daiwa reel. And we're going to take a stretch of this creek bank and just beat the banks, throwing up here along the rocks and overhanging trees. There'll be some down trees down through here. Oh, I had one hit me. On out to this creek, we've got some docks, and we'll certainly cast around those as well. So we're gonna make a morning of it here for as long as it takes for me to get some catfish bait. That's the primary goal today. I am needing some bait. I don't care what we use, as long as it's legal size, it's coming with us. So bass or whatever this is. What's this? Right there's a bass. He's gonna be too short though. This is going to be too short to keep, but he's going to be a good time. Oh, look at him jump. That's smallmouth. All right, folks, we're off to a heck of a start here. He's got wrapped around my transducer. There we go. There we go. Come here, smallmouth, before you get caught up in something else here. Get on in here. He's giving us the worm back, too. Even better. You lucky you too short, smallmouth, or you'd be catfish bait today. You go on there and get big for us, that way we can use you at some point in the future. I don't use smallmouth for catfish bait very often. I have done it before, but it ain't something I just throw that worm. I threw that worm off, right? I threw part of it off. We're hooked up with something. They must have been part of the worm still on the hook. I saw part of it hit the water there and was sinking, but we got us a bluegill. We threw we threw half that worm off and caught a fish with the other half of it. We're off to a heck of a start here, people. Let me throw this bluegill. If I can get hold of him, he's a feisty little thing, ain't he? Oh. Look at him, folks. He's going crazy here. Get hold of you, bluegill, would you? This thing's out. I dropped him again. Lord almighty, get back there in that cooler, there, fish. Get hold of you fish here, people. You're gonna have to do better than that. I apparently can't get a hold of them today. Let's take the rest of that worm and throw it over again. I'm just gonna leave the camera going, folks. This is probably gonna be a, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour long session here. Like I said, when I get enough bait for us to do a catfish trip, I'm gonna get on up out of here and go do some catfishing. So I'm gonna bring you all along for the ride here, just however long it takes, and y'all gonna see everything, every cast, every fish caught, every snag, every, you name it. I'm gonna take the rest of this worm off. Let's put us another one on. I'm using whole worms on here. Now you can use, and this is just a little tub of live red worms. You can use pieces of worms and catch some fish, like that cast there. You know, I threw off half the worm and we still caught a fish. If we were just bluegill fishing, we could take this worm, cut it in half or cut it in thirds, and get more fish for our money, if you will, per worm. But since I'm looking for catfish bait, I'm kind of wanting larger fish, whether it's bluegill or shellcracker, bass, whatever. I want bigger fish. So we're just going to use the whole worm and hopefully help our calls. Maybe attract some of them bigger fish there before the smaller fish can chew up the worm and knock it off the hook. Let's slide on down a little bit. We're just going to cast at random stuff down through here. There's nothing going to be special about how we're approaching the day. It's literally just going to be beating the banks here. This is as simple and easy a fishing as you can possibly do. I mean, the tackle, we got one rod. I do have another rod with me, my skipjack rod, just in case we stumbled into some skipjack that are busting out here. I think something tapped me in. Something's tapping that worm. Does he have it? Oh, felt like a small bluegill. You just felt tap, tap, tap. But this is as simple and as easy as it gets when you don't cast in trees like I just done. Lord almighty, folks, get your worm out the tree. You're supposed to cast in the water here, y'all. Let me get this thing out. I can't get that thing out without breaking that line. We off to a hell of a start here, folks. Like I said, y'all are with me here for the duration of it. Y'all are gonna see it all, even nonsense like this. This is a mess right here, folks. Get your worm out the daggone tree. We done spooked any fish right here for sure. At least we didn't lose our worm yet. Y'all see a snake up here, buddy, we gonna break that line and take off. I ain't fooling those snakes in this tree. I don't mind the spiders, but the snakes, y'all can have them. Let's push this out of this tree here. Lord, folks, we got problems here. Let's get over here. I hope none of these people over in these houses are outside right now, because they're gonna see a show with this, me getting a daggone tree limb in our line. Let's get this undone and catch us some fish. We got stuff to do today, y'all. Like I was saying, as long as you don't cast in trees like I just did, this is about as simple and easy a fishing as you can do. The tackle is, you need one fishing pole. You need either some hooks or some, in this case, jig heads, and some worms. And that's it. I mean, it don't get any simpler than that. And I personally, I like things that are simple and easy. I think oftentimes in fishing, we overcomplicate things. And usually it's the simplest, most basic stuff that accounts for not only most of the catches, but the biggest catches. I mean, think about it now. You know, I'm mostly catfish, right? So I'll speak on that part, but like nowadays you see all these fancy catfish rigs, all these bass lures in front of them, these spooks, 15 different rattles, all these different colors, all these things they're adding to a catfish rig. You know what's accounted for the most? Not only numbers of catfish, But biggest catches, it's just a basic Carolina rig, a hook and an egg sinker with a piece of cut bait on it. But yet people just continue to complicate the hell out of things. And so I personally enjoy getting back. We got something here. I can catch up to him. He's coming right at us. This is another one here that's big enough that we're gonna keep. Bluegill, and he's gonna leave the worm on. Nice of him. Thank you there, Bluegill. Appreciate you helping our calls there, keeping the worm on. Throw him in the cooler. But I just appreciate things that are simple and easy, and if I could keep myself out of that tree, I think we pulled out of that one. I'm gonna let it sink down right in front of that branch. But especially a technique like this, where not only what we're doing is simple and easy, but you're gonna get a variety of catches. I mean, we've got smallmouth, we've got bluegill. At some point down through here in this creek, we're gonna get a largemouth. There could be anything in this creek too, so I mean, hell, the other day I caught a skipjack on a worm. When I go carp fishing, I catch carp and I catch buffalo on worms all the time. So there's no telling what we could catch. You just put it in front of them, they're going to eat it. Now today's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them to see it just because of the murky water. But fish are pretty in tune with their environment. Like, they know. I mean, they're just feeding machines is what they are. They're in touch with what's going on around them. They have to be, because all these fish that we're catching, not only are they predators trying to survive, they're also prey. They're also, you know, got to protect themselves from bigger fish. So they have to really know what's around them, their surroundings. Fish have that lateral line that helps them not only can they see and taste and all that, but they can also feel with that lateral line. And this fish here is going to feel a hook in the jaw. Well, speaking of largemouth, right there's one. It's a small one, but it is a largemouth. He's too small for us to keep. I'm not opposed to keeping largemouth. I rarely ever keep a smallmouth for catfish bait, but the largemouth, I will gladly use those. Let's get us another worm. I'm taking this hook toward the end of the worm, not necessarily on the end, but just toward the end, and just kind of threading him on a little bit. And this ain't rocket science, folks. It's just get your worm on the hook somehow. There's all different kinds of ways that you can hook a worm, and if you Google it, you'll find 37. There's probably a video titled 37 Ways to Hook a Worm. It don't matter. Some might protect the worm a little more, get you more fish per worm, but as long as you got it on the hook, they're going to eat it. That's most important. These worms, I don't know, larger than the fish too. I didn't even feel him. I went to pick up on it and he's on there. Another pretty good sized bluegill. He's good enough to use for bait for sure. All right. Yes, sir, bluegill. We'll take that worm back too. I was about to say, these worms, you don't get many fish per, well, we only got part of it back. When I'm using artificials, it's a lot more efficient with an artificial lure. Even the gulp, which is it's a softer plastic, right? Like, you don't typically get as many fish per gulp as what you do with some other plastic lures that are maybe a little bit more durable. But even still, with the gulp, I still typically get, I don't know, I probably average 8 to 10 fish per gulp before I have to replace it. Whereas these worms usually, I'd say if we averaged it out, probably at best going to get 2 fish per worm. There might be some worms, maybe you get 3 or 4, but there's going to be a lot of worms. Like that right there, we was getting a bite, where you'll get on some small fish and they'll chew the worm off the hook, and you won't get any on it. So that's going to bring down your average. So it's just, you know, it's one of them things. It's the pros and the cons. Boy, we got hit right away. That's a small one there. We're going to throw this one back. I'm going to try to keep the bluegill that we keep. I want them to be big enough that we can use at least two baits out of them. Use a head and a chunk, and try to at least get 2 baiters out of them. And small bluegill like that, we probably couldn't get 1 bait. Probably have to use him whole, actually. Let's slide on down here a little bit. See if we can get around this next tree right here where I can make a cast along that log. But yeah, with live bait, you're not going to get as many fish per worm, but you oftentimes get a little better fish, better quality fish more frequently. Something was swimming with that bait, he didn't have it. So it's kind of a trade-off. You're not going to work as efficiently with a live bait, whether it's live worm, minnow, crickets, mealworms, wax worms, whatever. You're not going to get... Boy, he bit half that worm in half. I'm going to toss that over again. So you can't be as efficient because you're constantly changing baits, but when you do get bit, it's oftentimes just a little better quality fish, or you at least get better quality fish more frequently, it seems like. And I think you also, too, maybe get a little bit more variety of fish, oftentimes, too, with the worm, whereas when I'm throwing the gulp, I'd say probably 90% of my catches are going to be bluegill. Which don't hurt my feelings, because, I mean, I love catching bluegill, especially the bigger ones. But when you're ultralight fishing, it's nice to get a variety, because they all just, everything's so much fun with the ultralight. I feel like I'm a damn ultralight salesman, because every time I do one of these videos, I'm just preaching about how much fun it is, but it literally is. It's one of those things that you can do it anywhere. Everything's fun to catch. And you catch a ton of fish. And so what's not to love about ultralight fishing? Because I'm a big believer in that. If you're getting somebody new into the sport, if you're trying to get your kid involved in fishing, if you're trying to get your girlfriend or wife, or maybe if you're one of the 10% of my audience that's female, maybe you're trying to get your boyfriend or husband into fishing, you need to keep it easy for them, and you need to keep them catching fish. What you don't want to do is take a kid out and expect him, especially if it's a small child, and expect him to be stuck in a boat or a kayak or on the river. There's one. Let's see what we got here. Is he going to be, he ain't very big, but I like his coloration. That's a red-breasted sunfish right there. And I think I might just go ahead and, no, I'm going to let him go. He's so small. I'd like to have something colorful like that for a thumbnail. But if you got a child with a short attention span, or even an adult who's not really into fishing and you're trying to get them into it, you need to keep them entertained out there. You need to get them some action. You can't go out there and hand them a bass rod and a big bass lure and expect them to go out there and cast for 8 hours and catch 2 fish and be happy with their day. You need to have just something constantly going on. And you take this ultralight fishing here with the worms, just as an example. Even the fish we're not catching down through here. I mean, how many bites have we had already? I think we had one right there just stole a worm, just like that. You don't want to get your worm stole like I just did, but it's something like the person that you're taking out, they're constantly getting bites. There's taps on their line. There's just constantly something going on, and they're gonna catch fish. It ain't like it's something that you got to have a special skill set for. And I'll use musky fishing as an example. Like if you're going to musky fish with them big lures and them big rods, like you got to be pretty good shape. Like you don't want to take your wife or girlfriend that's never been fishing before and take her out there with some 8-foot long rod that she's going to have to do figure 8 configurations with a big lure. She's going to be miserable an hour in unless she catches a fish, which she's probably not, truth be told. I mean, if you're brand new to that kind of thing, you're probably not going to have much success with it right away, right? So settlement, the bottom line is what I'm going with this. I done lost half the audience trying to explain this, but what I'm saying is set the person up to succeed. Whether it's your kid, your wife, your girlfriend, or yourself. If you're new to fishing, you've stumbled across my video. We got one right here. Oh, what's this? What's this right here, folks? Oh, this is a little better fish. I don't know what it is yet. I saw part of him, but I couldn't make it out. Oh, that's a big bass. That's a bass. I don't know if it's largemouth or smallmouth yet. I saw the outline. Largemouth. You know what we didn't bring? We didn't bring a net. So we're going to have to be careful with this 2-pound line landing fish like this. Come over here, largemouth. Come here. We got hold of him. And we got our worm back. Got a refund on that one. Look at that, folks. Nice. He's not big enough for us to keep, but still on this ultralight tackle, man, that's a nice catch. I'm happy with that. You imagine there, if you're taking your kid out today and they pull up a bass like that. I mean, that would mean the world to them. So all I'm saying is, you take somebody out fishing, try to set them up to succeed. Give them the best chance of catching fish, any fish. Because what may be a small fish to you, like that bass right there, he wasn't very big. But if it's your kid and it's the first time they're going out, that's going to be the biggest fish they've ever caught. And I just threw that worm off right there. I threw part of him off, looks like. That bass got him a free meal there if he's still around. But yeah, I mean, and that's something I've had to be mindful of too in these videos. Oftentimes, I've had people tell me, you know, what I'm calling a dink would be their personal best out there catfishing and stuff. And it's just, you know, you never know the other person. Like, you never know where they're watching at, where they're from, their experience. Like, everybody's got to start somewhere. So that first fish is going to be a PB, no matter how big it is. And when it comes to ultralight fishing, like, they're going to have fun too. Not only are you going to catch a bunch of fish, but you're going to have fun because, I mean, you've seen some of these bluegill we've reeled in. We got one right here. Did you see? Oh, he's got us in something. Oh, he's got us in something over here, folks. He's still on, I feel him. Oh no, he's got us in something. Come out of it, fish. There he come. Oh, he ain't big as nothing. Whatever he was in had him. He had me fooled. He had me thinking he was bigger. He didn't need to be bigger though to bend this rod over, but he's big enough. We'll keep him. I'm glad he didn't break us off in whatever that is. Let's go over there and see if he's got some more friends with him. I'm in my new pedal kayak today here, y'all. This is a Native Slayer Propel 10 LTE. A lot of words, a lot of letters, but that's what it is. Oh, and in the bite. It's a lighter weight, kind of compact kayak that I have been playing with. I picked it up recently and I've taken it out on one catfishing trip, which I've kind of got some rod holders jimmy rigged on. I got my graph, and which we don't even have the graph on today for this fishing. Don't need it for this, but I've got everything just kind of temporarily placed on this kayak, and we'll switch it up if I end up deciding to keep this kayak. This is one I tried to find somewhere that would let me rent one of their demo models so I could take it out on some fishing trips. Nobody would do it. And I finally come to the realization, I was like, you know what? Even if I did find somebody to rent me one, I'm gonna be spending money on the rental fee. Why not just buy the damn thing? If I don't like it, I'll turn around and sell it, and I'll take a loss, because it's gonna be, even though it will still be practically new, if I use it a few times and sell it, it'll be used technically. So it's gonna be worth less. Oh, finally caught up to that fish right there. I didn't feel him bite. He was swimming. He was swimming off with that bait fish. I didn't know you was there. We'll throw that in back. But I come to the realization, I was like, you know, I'm going to spend some money either way, whether I rent and then like it and end up buying, or whether we got another one right away. I saw my line swimming before I ever went to pick up on it. This will be one we keep for sure right here. Oh, a nice bluegill right there. All right. And we still got our worm on there too. How about that? Give me that hook back, would you, fish? Well, he wasn't coming free, was he? There we go. Look at him. Stick him there in the cooler. Well, let's throw over there again. But yeah, with this kayak, I was like, I'm going to be spending money either way, whether I pay a rental fee and then buy the kayak afterwards because I like it, or I rent it and then decide I don't like it, I'm out that money. Or I can just buy the damn thing, and if I sell it for a loss, either way it's a wash. So I might as well just buy the thing. So I bought it, and I'm kind of just getting few trips in it here, kind of getting used to it, figure out if I'm going to end up keeping it or not, really. The goal with this kayak was to be a replacement for my Old Town Big Water. And I'll tell you straight up, I like my Old Town Big Water better. Another fish. Little tiny thing right here. We didn't want this one stealing our worm. But I honestly, from an on-the-water perspective, I expected to like my Old Town Big Water kayak better before I ever bought this thing. What I really wanted out of this kayak was a better off-the-water experience. My Old Town Big Water kayak, it's 13 feet long, and it's, with the seat and pedal drive, it's 122 pounds. So I trailer it, and I would like to get away from the, and I have, you know, used to I had a, well, I still have a car, so I had to trailer. But now that I've got a truck too, I would like to be able to avoid the boat ramp nonsense and stuff with the trailer, and having a lighter weight kayak when I'm fishing places that don't have a boat ramp. It's going to be easier with a lighter weight kayak. There's a fish. Oh, I lost it. I pulled it out of his mouth. You got our worm. It'll just be easier having the lighter weight kayak. So I knew an on the water experience with a smaller, more compact, lighter weight kayak wasn't necessarily maybe going to be as good as the experience in the Old Town. But what I didn't expect, and that's kind of the thing with this kayak that I'm struggling with, is the speed loss. It's a big difference in speed between this one and my Old Town. About 0.7 miles an hour, give or take. And what we're doing today, at least right now anyway, with this ultralight fishing, it doesn't matter. Oh, I was getting ready to reel. Okay, he done spit it and took our worm. The speed don't matter with what we're doing today. I mean, I launched in this creek, we're fishing this creek, and we're just working the shoreline, right? Like we don't need a lightning fast kayak. We're not covering any water today, going spot to spot. Like we're literally just creeping down the shoreline here. So no big deal on speed. Where speed comes into play though, let me throw right over here. We got a good angle on them rocks right there. Where speed comes into play is when you say I'm catfishing. He hit it right off the bat. That's another small one though. One of them little sunfish. Green sunfish. Get out of there, green sunfish. Make one more cast over there though, before we move on from it, because we got a good angle at it. But the speed comes into play when you are, say you're catfishing and you're making a run somewhere. You're going to go fish a spot that's 1 or 2 miles away. Going 3 miles an hour, you go 20 minutes, it takes you 20 minutes to go a mile. At 4 miles an hour, it's 15 minutes. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's only 5 minutes difference, Justin. What the hell difference does it make? It adds up, folks. You know, I'm telling you, over the course of time, that extra 10 minutes, 20 minutes per trip you save, multiplied out over the course of however many times you fish per year, 100 times a year. That's a lot of extra minutes without lines in the water. That translates into more fish. The more time you have on the water, more baits in, just like this fish here. Going to be more fish caught. He's not very big. He's a feisty thing though. That's a chunk of that worm on. Let me just throw that back over there. Save a little time. But my point is, it just adds up. And this kayak is significantly slower. And so while I like pretty much everything else about this kayak, the seat leaves a little bit to be desired, but that can be replaced. So I don't know. We'll see if I can get over the speed loss. I definitely want to do some more catfish trips in it though. And we'll make a decision from there. But I do like this kayak a lot though. There's a lot, if you take out the speed aspect of it, there's a lot I like about it. If we just did this style of fishing all the time, like this would be a great option. But I don't just do this kind of fishing all the time, right? Like I kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm not one of these one-hit wonder kind of YouTubers that can only catch one kind of fish or only likes to fish for one kind of fish. I like to do a little bit of everything. I mostly catfish, but I love to get out and ultralight fish. I like going carp fishing. I spend a big portion of my time just trying to find bait for the catfish. So, you know, I end up doing a lot of different types of fishing, and I need a kayak that's versatile. And part of being versatile is speed. So we'll give this thing the full test. Before it's said and done, folks, I will have formulated a good opinion on this thing before I make a decision one way or the other. I wish they would make my Old Town Big Water in a slightly shorter and slightly lighter version. That's asking a lot. But if I could have my way, I would take that kayak and make it shorter and lighter. Now I have my Hobie Lynx, which is a very lightweight kayak, and it's great for getting out and doing this. I really love it for the ocean because you can't sink the thing. There's no internal storage in it, so there's nowhere for water to get in at. But you can't drill into it because it's just foam wrapped in a thin layer of plastic. So it's not very durable and you can't drill in. And that creates some problems for us, not being able to drill in and mount sturdy rod holders. Like that's a problem for catfishing. So there's some balance to be had between my Old Town Big Water and my Hobie Lynx. And I thought this kayak could potentially be it. And that's why I was so hell-bent on trying it, even if it cost me $300 or $400 when it's said and done, if I don't end up liking it. Seen something busting the surface over there. Did you see that? There's some fish over there. He's busting. There he is. Oh, I missed him. Wish you'd tell that fish to bite right there. Oh hell, there's somebody walking through the woods too. He got a worm. He robbed us. I'm gonna take that piece off. We could catch a bluegill on that little piece right there, but I want to have a bigger worm on just in case we come across some bass. We got plenty of them in here still, so. There we go.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Any day fishing is a good day, right?
That's what they claim.
You catching anything?
Oh, just some small bluegill.
Yeah, that's what we usually find out here. Well, enjoy your day out here. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Have a good day. Lord, let me get my pliers. Get my forceps here. Got it just deep enough. There we go. Got it. Here we go. We got small. Oh, let's back up. This seat's awful creaky too. That's another thing about this kayak. It's all makes a lot of noise. I'm hoping as the seat breaks in, it'll get better with that. There's another one. All right, he's hitting it and getting it. I may go ahead and keep that one. Let's go over there again. Well, I thought I was going to get another one right away. I saw one breaking right there. It's over there. That fish just hit the surface over. Okay, there he is. He's tapping. Pulled it out of his mouth. I'm gonna let it sink down right there a little bit deeper. See if we get on anything out off that bank a little bit. Maybe too far out. You actually got the worm. Okay, good. I think that woman's gone now. You know I don't like talking on camera around people, folks. I'm all weird about it and stuff. I thought coming out here on a weekday morning I wouldn't be around anybody, but I already seen another boat in the back of this creek, which is why we come on out as far as we have. And now we're seeing people out here. Hopefully I'll get all my peopling out of the way first thing. I can do some catfishing today. I hopefully won't see anybody. Need us some more bait though, folks. This is taking longer than I had hoped it would. Let's get around on the other side of this dock over here. Y'all listen to my seat creak here. I'm hoping though once this seat gets broke in, it won't. If memory serves me, I think my Old Town seat was like that too. It would make a lot of noise, and then after a couple months it kind of got settled in. That seat too, it got settled in all right. I fell through that seat. You talk about a sign from the universe that maybe you need to lose some weight. It was around this time last year, I guess, when it happened. But I was pedaling along in my Old Town, and all of a sudden, the seat just gave way. The bottom fell out of it. The stitching had come loose. And my butt just falls through. What a disaster that was. I reached out to Old Town about it, but the seat was out of warranty. The Old Town, they got a pretty good warranty on their hull. It's a great warranty. It's a lifetime. The pedal drive system's 5 years. But the seat was only 1 year. And so they didn't do a damn thing but try to sell me a seat, which I didn't want to buy a new seat because it's like $200, and the seat frame was fine. All I needed was the material around it. They didn't want to do that. Had to buy a whole seat. So I said, hell with it. I ain't doing that. And I got online, one of them Old Town Facebook groups, and posed the question. We'll come to find out it's apparently a known defect with Old Town seats, because a lot of people had that problem. And I ended up getting some sewing thread. I was going to try to sew the thing back on. Well, turns out I ain't going to win no quilting bee, folks. I watched a YouTube video and thought I was going to be an expert quilter after watching that video, but them old ladies are more talented than we give them credit for. Next time you go to an arts and crafts festival, you pat them old ladies on the back for a job well done for them quilts they make, because it's harder than it looks. I couldn't sew that damn seat, but I ended up taking me some zip ties and just poking a bunch of holes in the material and running zip ties around it in the frame, and it's held up for a year now. So it don't look pretty, but it's functional. And that's pretty much sums up everything you need to know about me. I'm not pretty, but I'm functional. Yeah, I couldn't believe that though. I thought, man, they're surely gonna either replace the seat or at least just replace sell me the fabric to go around the frame. Oh, there's a fish. That one might be a little better. It is a little better. Better bluegill right there. That one's definitely coming with us. we may end up catfishing with bluegill today, folks. The rate we're going here. But I've been doing pretty good with bluegill lately. I've been getting a bunch of fish with it, and I've been getting some better quality fish with it. So if that's what we end up rolling with today, then so be it. Let's go over there again. I really don't need too many, because it's going to be a short trip for me, most likely. The weather today, you can see out here, it's real foggy right now. We had some rain earlier, and we got some more coming in later on today. We're talking about some bad storms potentially, and of course I don't want to be out there and them storms hit, so I'll be off the water before that happens. But I think I'm going to have a few hours to maybe catch some catfish, so I don't need a ton of bait. And tomorrow is supposed to be a washout. It's supposed to be rain and storms throughout the day, so I only need enough bait for a few hours today. So I don't need a lot, but I want to have enough for us. Something hit it as I was about to reel it back to us. Is that a bass? No, it's a bluegill. I thought a bass might have snatched it as we was reeling it back in. Come up here, bluegill. You also will be coming with us. Thank you, sir, for your efforts. How many we got in there? We got several. Let's get the old nasty stuff off there. All right, well, hey, you know what? Let's throw right back over there. We really haven't covered much water in this creek. I mean, we could sit out here and do this all day and catch fish from one end of the creek all the way out to the channel. Catch them out there. I mean, this is a technique that will work all up and down these shorelines, and that's true of any body of water, because like I said, if there's fish there, they're going to eat a worm. That's just, it's one of the easiest meals they can get. And when they're up under these trees and stuff, when it rains hard, water runs off these hills, pushes bugs and insects into the water. Here comes something. Right, here comes something that's going to be another one we're going to keep. Yeah, another one there. It's good enough. Let me get my forceps again. One of my channel members, DT Knox, sent me these a while back, and I've been putting them to use on these bluegill that are taking these jigs a little deeper than they need to. In there, bluegill. Can't remember what I was saying now. I done broke my train of thought. I don't remember what the hell I was talking about. It probably wasn't important no way. How far? We're almost an hour into this mess. I've already lost my dang mind. Now I've got us hung in something over here. Let's go spook all these fish. We'll just spook every one of them as we get right on top of them. And hopefully get that thing back. Oh, I see what we're hung in there. There's some brush. Give me that jig back, please and thank you. There it comes. Nope, it didn't either. I broke it off. Daggone. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was talking about how these fish, you know, they're over here along the shoreline, so when stuff falls off the bank, whether it's rain, washing down bugs and insects, worms and stuff off of the shoreline, or it's bugs falling out of trees, they're always looking for a meal, you know, an easy meal. So we're dropping that worm in there, and it's basically creating an opportunity for those fish that they see regularly. And you know, you take something like bluegill, they're schooling fish. I mean, you never see a bluegill by itself, right? There's usually several of them around. So when something falls in the water and you've got 20 fish all around, well, they all go for it. So it's kind of a situation where you'll get some well, our line's kind of frayed up right there. I'm going to roll with it because I don't want to retie this thing again. But you'll get some competition. They're so focused on getting that lure or that bait or bug or whatever has fallen off the tree that they're not paying attention to that hook in it, because it's a feeding competition. If they don't snatch it, one of their friends is. And that may be the difference in them eating or not eating today. It's especially these small fish. I mean, it's survival mode for them. Bigger fish, better predators, you know, they kind of get they can kind of feed when they want to, but these smaller fish don't have as many opportunities, because it's not only got to be available to them, but it's got to be able to fit in their mouth. I think I'm just going to fish this area right here a little bit, make a few casts. And I think I'm going to hopefully we'll catch a couple more right here, and I'm going to take off, I think. I don't want to spin. We've already spent, oh, I had one right there. Did you get my worm? Nope. We've already spent more time on this than what I had hoped to today. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to be out here ultralight fishing and stuff. That's why we're doing a ultralight trip, to catch us some bait, because I was in the mood to do some ultralight fishing. But I'd hoped to get my fix in 30-45 minutes or so and have us plenty of bait to fish with. And we've got some fish out here. It's taken a little longer today. Lost a lot of worms, small fish, and all that. But that's really just my impatience showing, because I mean, how many fish have we caught here in the hour? I ain't been counting, but it's been several. So I'm just impatient. When I go ultralight fishing, I want a bite on every cast, and oftentimes you get it. Or, you know, not every cast, but you're getting, I've had many days well over 100 fish caught. Not in an hour, but over the course of, say, 4 or 5 hours. It's pretty common to have 100 fish sessions. So, I mean, it's a very productive technique. When you don't care what you catch, when you just want to get bit, you can catch a lot of fish. It's when you go being selective, trophy hunting, that's when you're really limiting yourself. I thought for sure we was going to catch some more fish through here. We got 2 trees that I can see going down into the water. I thought for sure there'd be something hanging out by them, but either way, we're gonna skedaddle here in a minute. Maybe we'll just run over. I saw something right over here on the other side of this dock. I kind of want to throw around this dock, but I saw something on the other side over here busting. Let's just go over here and see what's going on the other side over here. These wooden docks like this, all these wooden posts, it's a good idea to work all the way around them, really. I don't know what was going on over here. You gone now. Just over here. They could be something around all these dock posts right here. If we were just ultralight fishing today, we would really just dissect this thing, take our time and go around it, hit each one of these posts. But with us just kind of making a quick bait run, we're just going to a cast here or there and Be about it. Sometimes though, you'll find a dock like this and it'll have a bunch of fish on it, but they'll all be kind of on one of them posts. Throw over there, whatever that is. I see something over there in the water. I see just the top of it. I don't really know how deep that is. I didn't turn the graph on. I just don't care about running the graph when I'm doing this style of fishing, folks. Don't need it. Just don't. It's just one of them. It's an important piece of gear when I'm catfishing, but as a ultralight fishing, when I'm just literally throwing at the banks, it's just not something that I need. I don't know what was busting over here a little while ago, but I don't see it now. Well, I'll say that, and there he was. Like danged old Joe Hendry, say his name and he appears. I'll talk about that fish busting, and there he splashed. Let me throw right there in front of that thing where he splashed at. I don't know what that was. I don't care what it was, honestly. I just want to catch it. He ain't gonna bite it, is he? He probably done swam on. Well, let's throw over there. I think that's part of a tree or brush or something right over there. I see part of it. Just gonna let that thing sink down. I'm impatient, but we have caught several fish out here today. If them bass had been keeper size, then I'd have certainly, probably not the smallmouth, but the largemouth I would have kept, but just wasn't quite big enough. Got to be fit. Not, it ain't so much where you catch them at. They got to be in Tennessee. If you use bass, they've obviously got to be legal size where you catch them at. They also got to be legal size on the body of water you're using them at. So I need them to be 15 inches today. And that biggest one we caught wasn't going to be 15 inches. Well, folks, I feel like the farther we're getting out here, the less action we're getting. I'm getting impatient anyway. I'm probably fishing this thing too fast now. I'm gonna reel this thing in here, take a look, see what all we got here in our cooler, and I think we've probably got enough. I mean, just, yeah, we've got, I don't know, I've probably got 6 or 7 bluegill in there, so I think that's enough for us, folks. I'm gonna get out of here and go do some catfishing right quick before the storms move in later today. So if that goes well, that should be the next video. If it don't, well, I'll see you on another trip. Thanks for coming with me today.